Honey, when I tell you, Michael B. Jordan is clapping back. He got something to say. He been seeing our videos going around and everybody else is talking about the situation. Now it's time for Michael B. Jordan to come out here and say something. Finally, let a man speak about this thing. And I want to know, what do y'all think he's going to tell us? I think he's going to tell us Lori Harvey is really still in these streets. She tried to flip the narrative like he was cheating. Well, probably she was cheating first. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what probably going to say, but I don't know because I haven't watched the video yet. You guys know we are reacting here at Deep New York News. I am your host, Gigi Medici. Yeah. Make sure you guys like the video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Let me pop it up, y'all. Y'all know I'm going to have to stop and reply and all that. Let's go. What's going on? Disclaimer.
Keeping stuff to yourself and keeping it private and learning, when to talk and when not to talk.
Michael B. Jordan didn't even say a single word. But after that huge Oscar win, the whole story just flipped on its head. And now the internet is losing it. People are looking back at everything differently, especially with old rumors popping up again, including claims that before the breakup, Lori looked him dead in the eyes and said he'd never win an Oscar. And now everyone's saying that moment is hitting back.
That's fucked up, Lori. You real effed up for that. This is how these women are. They always trying to pull you down, trying to humble you by telling you, you ain't gonna be shit. You ain't gonna never get no Oscar. You know you black. He don't need to hear that shit, and he did it in spite of. Go ahead, boy. You didn't need her anyway. God was removing that out your life. That's a blessing. That's a blessing.
Louder than ever. The ultimate silent comeback. It's got people talking crazy online. This wasn't just a win. It was a statement without saying a thing.
I was lucky enough to have a lot of work, and I'm a firm believer is what's for you is for you.
At the same time, people are bringing up how she was reportedly all in on Damson, acting like he was next up. He already had that award locked in before Michael even got close.
Oh, she just reckless out here in these streets. I don't know. It's giving prostitute. She's with this man, that man, this man, that man. It's giving prostitute, She don't love herself.
But if we're keeping it real, the buzz around him in those top industry circles wasn't even moving like that. Now in 2026, everything looks flipped upside down.
Right.
The conversation shifted heavy, and folks are saying, Lori moves based on who's hot right now, who's got the spotlight, who's got the clout.
Does.
It's the best advice they've given you. Just remember that you're the prize at all times. Boom. Best advice.
And now they're claiming she picked the wrong wave at the wrong time. And it's all catching up in the loudest way. Since the Oscars wrapped, social media has been going nonstop, and she's been catching pressure from every direction. Still, none of this shock is really surprising to people paying attention. There are even reports claiming folks around Lori saw this coming way ahead of time. The second Michael secured that Best Actor nomination for Sinners, the energy reportedly changed fast. And insiders say nobody from her circle showed up to the Oscars because they already knew he had a real shot at winning.
See, I gotta be real careful because Lori, boy, she be in my ass. I can't make no mistakes. I can't make sense. I saw one of her asses somewhere at a game somewhere, and I shook his hand. Boy, I can't even touch his ass no more. I better not acknowledge him or look at him or nothing no more. So I'm off limits. If you are ex, your ass is my ex.
And that tension was already building behind the scenes. And honestly, they didn't want to be anywhere near that moment at all. If his name got called, everybody knows award shows can turn awkward real fast. So she kept her distance, while Michael stepped in calm, focused, and completely unshaken, standing right beside his mom, Donna Jordan, and walked out with that award it was always meant to be his. The second he won, social media went wild. People were celebrating him heavy, showing love everywhere. But at the same time, Lori started getting called out for picking Damson over him, and those comparisons got loud instantly. Some people were even saying Damson doesn't measure up to Michael's level, while others took it further, saying ever since that breakup, Michael has been on a non-stop winning streak, and hasn't slowed down for a
That's
second.
motivation,
You know,
baby.
that situation.
He motivated.
Not to give it, any energy and kind of move from that is, it was an experience for me to grow, and learn.
Now people are saying the glow up really kicked off right after that breakup, and they
That's
are not
motivation.
holding back at all. You've got people online straight up.
That was a blessing that she got out of his life. Now he can really focus. He's charged up. He's more motivated. He's clear. He don't have distraction from Lori and her bullshit. That was a blessing from God. He got rid of that Jezebel.
Saying that other man ain't got no Oscar, and they're saying it loud with no filter. Even if it sounds messy, that's the exact energy taking over timelines, right? Now, and it's spreading fast. Yeah, it might come off petty, but a lot of people believe there's something deeper behind all that talk, and they're not letting it slide. When Michael and Lori split, there were claims that her camp allegedly pushed a whole narrative about him that didn't sit right with a lot of people. Stories started popping up, painting him like a serial cheater and even questioning his dating preferences. And that noise traveled quick across social media. The wild part is none of it was ever confirmed, but it still had people talking nonstop.
Gossiping.
Michael didn't jump online to defend himself or...
I think it's wrong. When you break up, to put rumors out on a person and to call them a cheater, and you know their job is dependent on their reputation, and saying they only date white women, and it may be true, but why would you put that out there? That's why I look at relationships so funky, because they'll love you one minute, they'll be your enemy the next. And I don't like all that shit. If we left on bad terms, just shut the fuck up, I shut up, and let's move on. All this, I don't
clear
like
anything up in public. He stayed quiet, moved smart, and kept everything low-key while focusing on his work behind the scenes. While all that chatter kept building and spinning out of control, he was locked in on his craft, setting up a run that would eventually lead him straight to that Oscar, which makes the timing hit even harder. Then more rumors started, popping up, saying the breakup was tied to him allegedly being involved with his ex, Ashlyn Castro.
He wasn't ready, because when a woman finds a good one, then that's what you're looking for. But I think at the same time, she's young. I think the established relationship that Michael did.
How young is she?
I think that maybe that social
media,
ain't that young. That all of that was a lot for him. And I think that he, I heard about his ex, and him was so serious that he may have missed her.
But once again, there was never any solid proof to back that up.
Gossiping.
And it stayed in the rumor lane the whole time. Things got even louder when Lisa Raye, who's known to be close with Lori's mom, started speaking on it. And that connection had people paying serious attention. According to Lisa Raye, the story about Lori not being ready for marriage wasn't true at all. She claimed Lori actually did want to marry Michael, but right before a supposed proposal, she allegedly found out he was involved with his ex. And that's what really ended everything. People were saying Lisa Raye stepped in and put everything out there because she got on camera and spoke openly with zero filter. She didn't hold back one bit, and the way she broke it all down had everyone glued, trying to figure out what was real and what was just talk. Meanwhile, Lori stayed completely silent through all of it and never directly responded to any of those claims. But here's what really caught people's attention. She also didn't shut the rumors down. And that had eyebrows going up fast. Some people even feel like letting stories spread without correcting them can hit just as hard as actually saying them out loud. And that idea started gaining serious traction online. Right when all this drama was heating up, Steve Harvey and Marjorie started posting messages that had people reading between every single line. Steve dropped, "Love yourself, my G," and people instantly started connecting it to everything happening. Then he followed it up with even more messages that kept the internet guessing and added even more pressure to the situation. Sometimes we need to thank God for what didn't happen. And once that message hit, the internet was already running wild with its own conclusions. Then during an interview, he said she's growing up in the public eye and doesn't get to make mistakes. In private, like most people. And that only added more weight to everything people were already thinking. Now people are side-eyeing those comments heavy, especially after Michael just secured that Oscar win. Some are even questioning if Steve still stands on what he said, or if his whole perspective has shifted now that everything played out so differently. There's a lot of talk online about what he thinks now.
He's genuinely who he looks like he is, and he's I mean, like it threw me off at first because he was so kind. You know, I figured, okay, this is the game, right?
Right.
But it wasn't, man. This dude was sincere, and he's proven to be a really, really good guy, man.
With Lori still in the spotlight and the situation getting messier by the minute, and just when it felt like things couldn't get any louder, even more moments started surfacing. Marjorie didn't stay quiet either, and she reposted a clip of Jennifer Lewis saying, "If you sit in it for too long, it stops smelling. So come up out of there." And people instantly started reading into it, based on the timing alone. Folks felt like that was a direct shot, and it had the internet going off nonstop. Then, Lori added even more heat by posting a license plate that read, "Dump him." And that sent social media into a full frenzy.
Whoa.
The narrative got louder, messier, and way more intense with every single post. Then things turned up even more when Jason Lee stepped in and shared his experience, pushing the conversation to a whole new level. He said he ran into Lori at Essence Fest after the breakup and asked her straight up about the cheating rumors tied to Michael. According to him, instead of shutting it down, Lori allegedly froze and just stared at him. The question completely caught her off guard. That moment alone had people speculating even harder, breaking down every detail and trying to figure out what really went on behind the scenes. But while all that talk kept spreading, Michael stayed completely silent and didn't entertain any of the drama at all.
That's a real
no interviews,
man.
No posts, no back and forth.
That's what you're supposed to do.
And that silence started speaking louder than all the noise online. Instead of reacting, he stayed focused, leveled up, stepped into directing major projects, and kept stacking wins back to back. People started noticing that while rumors kept coming and going, his results only got bigger and louder. Then boom,
inspiring.
Oscar night hit, and everything changed instantly. That win didn't just elevate his career, it shut down the noise and made all that old drama look small on the biggest stage possible. Now people are circling back to everything that was said and questioning all of it. They're wondering if the noise ever matched reality. Because while everybody else was busy talking, Michael was putting in the work. And now he's the one standing there holding that Oscar like proof of everything. The internet is doing what it always does, digging everything back up and putting every moment under a microscope. Old clips, past interviews, timelines. People are connecting every single dot. And right now, it's not looking too good for Lori in the public eye. A lot of users are pointing out just how fast everything flipped. Back then, Michael was the one getting questioned, side-eyed, and dragged into all kinds of rumors from every direction.
Everyone thought I was so heartbroken because when the news came out, I was at a basketball game, and they caught me looking like this. Look, I was just chilling, but the internet decided that that was me being sad. Luckily for me, if you Google sad Michael Jordan, the first 8,000 results are this.
But now, he's got an Oscar, major respect, and a career that just keeps leveling up without slowing down. Meanwhile, Lori's name keeps getting pulled right back into the conversation, with people debating her choices and how everything played out. Some are even calling it a lesson in how fast public opinion can switch once the results start speaking loud and clear. At the same time, others are stepping in and calling out how messy the internet can really be. Because once a story takes off, it's almost impossible to control where it goes or how far it spreads. One thing is clear, though. People are still watching closely. And the big question now is, was all that drama even necessary in the first place? Looking back, it feels like everything escalated way further than expected. Some people are saying this is the perfect example of how moving in silence really pays off. Because while everything was loud and all over social media, Michael stayed locked in and let his work speak for him. And that hit way harder than any response ever could. At the same time, people are pointing out just how fast the internet switches sides, and it's happening in real time. 1 minute, a certain narrative felt completely locked in. Everybody already picked a side, and the next minute, it flipped all the way around. The second real success showed up. Everything changed overnight. Now it's bigger than just a breakup. It's about timing, decisions, and how fast everything can shift when reality finally steps in and speaks loud. With all the conversations still going strong online, it's clear this story isn't fading anytime soon. A lot of people feel like Lori and her circle pushed the idea that Michael was the problem back then, but now the tables have turned in a major way. Folks are saying this is his moment, quiet payback without him even saying a single word. People online didn't waste any time jumping in either. Comments started flooding everywhere, getting louder and louder with every refresh. One person said, "He didn't say a word, he just worked and won." Others were saying this whole situation shows how actions will always speak louder than rumors, no matter how crazy things get online. At the same time, some people are still defending Lori, saying the internet is way too quick to judge and flip the script without knowing the full story. They're pointing out that nobody really knows what happened behind closed doors, and that all of this is still based on speculation. But even with that being said, the overall energy online is still leaning heavy in Michael's favor right now. What really has people locked in is how everything played out over time. From rumors and side-eyes to major wins and standing ovations, the shift feels almost unreal to watch unfold. And now, every move, every post, and every appearance is being watched closely. The story is still writing itself in real time. Now the spotlight feels even brighter, and people are paying attention to every little detail like never before. And the conversation just keeps growing louder by the day. It's like the internet refuses to let this story cool off.
Right.
And honestly, it's turning into one of those moments people keep coming back to. Some are even saying this situation shows how fast perception can change when success enters the picture. 1 minute, people were questioning everything, and now they're giving respect and recognition on a whole different level. That shift didn't happen quietly either. It hit fast and loud, and now everybody's got something to say about it. At the same time, there's still a lot of curiosity hanging in the air. People keep asking if there's more to the story that hasn't come out yet, or if this is really how everything played out from start to finish. Either way, the attention isn't slowing down, and right now, all eyes are still locked on what happens next in this ongoing situation. And right before everything wraps up, there's still one thing people can't stop talking about.
What?
The timing of it all. The way everything lined up has people raising eyebrows, because it feels like the narrative didn't just shift. It flipped at the exact moment Michael hit his biggest win yet. That kind of timing has the internet looking at the whole situation differently now. Some are even saying this isn't just about relationships anymore. It's about how fast people switch up when success enters the E. Picture, 1 minute, the energy was completely different. And now, it's like a full reset happened overnight. That has people questioning who was really being doubted and who stayed solid the entire time. At the same time, others are warning not to get too carried away with the assumptions, because at the end of the day, a lot of this is still speculation, and the full story hasn't been confirmed from either side. Still, that hasn't stopped the conversation from growing, and right now, all eyes are locked in waiting to see what move comes next. Now the talk is getting even crazier, with people claiming Lori Harvey might be about to leave Damson. And it doesn't stop there. Others are adding that now Michael B. Jordan is an Oscar winner. She could be trying to spin the block and get back with him. The internet has been going off nonstop with these takes.
Oh my
and it's
God.
only getting louder by the minute. Now everybody's
Don't
watching
do
closely.
it, Michael.
Some people
Don't
are even
do
asking
it.
if Michael is low-key clowning Lori after everything that happened, while others are saying the internet is just running wild and creating stories out of thin air. And the big question keeps coming up. Would she ever really circle back now that he just hit this major milestone?
Yes.
What do you think about all this?
Yes.
Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe and share this video. And stay tapped in for more updates and...
All right, honey. I shared the video. I sure did. Comment. Let us know what your thoughts.